From artificial islands with some of the most luxurious hotels to ones that have cost billions of dollars to clean up, here are 13 most expensive artificial islands. Hey guys, this is your host, American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 13, the Nanhai Pearl Island. This artificial island is located off the coast of Holiday Beach in China and is currently under construction. It will be an enormous tourist attraction with hotels, shipyards, cruise ships, and a theme park. It currently has one bridge that connects it to the mainland of Henan, China. China has become notorious lately with their construction of artificial islands. They caused some controversy when they were constructing many islands and militarizing them and then turned them into air bases. This one here is supposed to be for touristic purposes. It's unclear how much it costs to build all this, but we're guessing somewhere in the billions range. Construction began in April of 2016 and consists of a crescent-shaped body. It seems somewhat like a response to Dubai's artificial islands we'll get to later. Number 12, the Venetian Islands. These are the man-made islands in Miami's Biscayne Bay, not to be confused with the islands of Venice. The islands were constructed to house the world's rich and famous. It is now one of the world's most sought-after real estates. Almost every island is named after somewhere famous in Venice, like San Marco Island, Rivo Alto Island, San Marino Island, just to name a few. It houses a large amount of wealthy foreign-born residents, most of whom own their own yachts or even a riverboat. The set of islands also helped construct the Venetian Way Bridge, which connects Miami Beach with Miami. One of the more populated islands is also known as Belle Isle, which is the closest to Miami Beach and home to many high-rise condos. Number 11, Île aux Cygnes. This small artificial island is located on the River Seine in Paris and was created in 1827 in order to protect the port of Grenelle. Île aux Cygnes translates to the Island of Swans. It's uninhabited for the most part except for this replica of Lady Liberty that stands about 70 feet tall. She's actually facing the direction of her much larger sister in New York City. It was originally facing the direction of the Eiffel Tower, but it was later on moved during the World Fair in 1937. It also has the French and American Independence Day inscribed on her book and was actually given by the French community living in America. The island serves as an important crossway from 3 bridges connecting the northern and southern parts of Paris. You better believe that this statue is going to increase the value of this artificial island. Number 10, Ahwaz Islands. Iran is located in the Persian Gulf, and they've invested a large amount of cash to construct the Ahwaz Islands, just northeast of the capital of Manama. In order to complete the project, various engineering technologies were put to the test, including geotubes, vacuum sewerage, and also fiber optics. These were all relatively new to the area when construction began. Here you'll find plenty of upscale hotels and retail buildings, as well as a university, theme parks, a hospital, and many other things. Don't forget about all the luxury homes with amazing views of the Persian Gulf. The total area of the Ahwaz Islands is only about 1 2/3 miles squared, but you'll find a fairly high population density with 10,000 residents, plus the additional tourists. The $1.5 billion investment will need a little bit of time to see if it can pay itself back. But now that construction is almost done, we'll see how it goes. Number 9, the Pearl, Qatar. This massive artificial island is found in the Persian Gulf country of Qatar and takes up a large enough space to create 20 miles of coastline. Some have compared it to Venice of the Middle East due to its unique canals and scenery. Yachts are lined up in the harbors and upscale housing is quite prevalent. If you could afford something here, you could probably enjoy the good life. Many parts of it are still under construction. One of the most impressive aspects about this artificial island is its vast quantity of high-quality restaurants and types of cuisines from around the world. Although a few restaurants suffer from statewide alcohol bans, talented chefs from around the world have opened up shop right here at the Pearl. The amount of money being put into this island is ridiculous at times. The budget started at $2.5 billion, but it's believed that $15 billion will be needed for it to be completed. Number 8, the Johnston Atoll. Located in the heart of the Pacific, this extremely remote island has been under the control of the U.S. military for the past 70 years. It was originally a bird sanctuary, but when tests needed to be done, it was transformed into a naval refueling depot and an airbase used to drop bombs. A lot of shady stuff seemed to go on here, and many nuclear and biological weapons were stored here. The government has spent about $70 billion trying to clean this place up, and who knows how much more was spent on all those crazy experiments. The area was used for atmospheric testing, and on July 9, 1962, a 1.4 megaton explosion was detonated at an altitude of 250 miles. This actually resulted in an electromagnetic pulse. It was dubbed Starfish Prime and created a massive fireball in the sky, knocking out communications as far away as Hawaii. Number 7. The Port of Le Havre. Le Havre is a port city in Normandy, and it's a common location for various cruise ships making a stop in the north of France. Tourists from across the English Channel enjoy taking a ferry ride across and directly into the beaches of northern France, as opposed to taking the Channel. The city itself is also home to the River Seine, which flows into Paris. Port is home to shipping containers, which are stored on artificial islands, and certainly some shops for the tourists. Number 6. The World Islands. Dubai seems to be making some dreams come to reality when it comes to architecture and land development. They're determined to become the #1 tourist attraction in the world. That is certainly the case when it comes to the World Islands, located off the coast of Jumeirah. 300 man-made islands represent countries and states all across the world and is visible from space. Located in the Persian Gulf, the World Islands are mostly made of sand and it was financed by a group of ambitious investors. This appeals to real estate owners who want to own a little piece of their own world and have their own private island not too far from Dubai. Many of the islands are currently uninhabited, but the ones who have decided to build something here are making some believe that this project wasn't a failure just yet. But the whole project did cost $13 billion. Sooner or later, this archipelago could become much more inhabited, and some believe it will be an unbelievable tourist attraction in the years to come. Number 5. Tokyo's Disneyland. In case you didn't know, Japan has their own happiest place on Earth in Tokyo, and this is set on a man-made island in Urayasu. This is one of the biggest tourist locations in Japan and is the first ever Disney-themed amusement park built outside of the United States. The resort island has 5-star hotels within its boundaries, and many attractions are similar to the Disneyland we know of in Anaheim, California. The Japanese architects who designed this amusement park visited the California attraction and heavily influenced their decision-making. The final cost for this project was 180 billion yen, which was well over their initial budget. Number 4. Peberholm, Denmark. Man is truly capable of completely changing landscapes without it harming surrounding wildlife. With advancements in artificial islands, they can help aid us in remarkable feats of engineering. Although the island itself wasn't too expensive, it takes up part of a $19 billion project. Let's take a look at the Øresund Bridge. This bridge is capable of connecting 2 countries, Denmark and Sweden. This feat was accomplished partially due to the construction of the Peberholm Island. It was made to serve as a crossover point between the bridge and the tunnel. The tunnel was basically constructed so that ships can cross through this stretch of water without having to worry about sinking their boat. This unique piece of land has an ecosystem like no other, with 454 species of plants and 810 species of birds. Some tend to flock here to choose a mate without any intervention of man. Some believe that this island will actually expand and more people will live here. Number 3. NotreDame Island. Not to be confused with the Ile de la Cité in Paris, which is the island that contains the Notre Dame Cathedral. The man-made island was built with 15 tons of excavated rock, which had to be extracted for the construction of the Montreal Metro. It's interesting to see them create an island as an effect of a large underground project, and it's proven to be a success. Although it didn't cost too much to construct at about $70 million, it's what's on the island that is actually pretty pricey. They got themselves a pretty fancy hotel and casino. Many people have chosen to stay here to enjoy activities such as hiking and canoeing. Number 2. Kong Xue Hai Macau Bridge. China's attempting to construct some pretty crazy things, and what's scary about it is they're actually succeeding nearly every time. The concept of trying to connect all 3 of these cities, Hong Kong, Zhuhai, and Macau, would have been unthinkable just a few decades ago. But if China can construct military bases on artificial islands, they should be able to pull off this amazing bridge. This complex sea-crossing bridge consists of tunnels and bridges, and it stretches a total of 34 miles. Construction began in 2009, but not without the help of some artificial islands. Finally, the last construction material was laid down in 2017. This was done to greatly reduce traffic and to connect these powerful cities. The final price of this insane project was no less than $10 billion. And number 1, the Palm Jumeirah. How would you feel about living on an extremely large man-made island in the Persian Gulf? Sounds like it could be intriguing. These also belong to the flamboyant United Arab Emirates, but instead of taking the shape of the world, these clusters of islands are shaped like a palm tree and are much more utilized than its neighboring chain of islands. The palm tree consists of a trunk that acts like a bridge to the mainland, with 16 fronds and a surrounding crescent-shaped island. This is home to the luxurious Palms Atlantis Hotel, which began construction in 2001. This adds an extra 40 miles to Dubai's coastline and was built with over 7 million tons of stone. They kept the nearby ecosystem in mind and used natural rock to encourage natural reef creation. Final cost, about $12 billion.
Let us know what you think, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video.